Hello, my friends, and welcome to episode 246 of Why Did I Buy This? I started this series to help crafters find unique ways to use paper crafting supplies. All of the things that I'm using are from my Stampin' Up! Store, and so if you see something you love, you'll want to go on the store and shop away. Remember that when you place an order that's $60 or greater here in Canada, I will be sending you a video tutorial with 12 tutorials in it. This is called the Creative Stamping Collective. It is super fun, and I really want you to experience that. So I will have links in the comments. You can go to my store and shop away. And once you place that order, I get a notification and I send it to you. My name is Lynsay Mann. I am from Alberta, Canada. I love crafting and I love sharing ideas with you. Thank you so much for tuning in. When you tune in, you can say hello and let me know where you're tuning in from. If you're watching the replay, you can let me know that too. Hello, Sharon. Happy Pool Party Friday. Have my pool party glasses on. You'll hear some banging and construction sounds. The exterior of my house, they just started redoing it today, and they're removing stucco, which is a noisy thing. The boys might be going on a lunch break right now, which would be excellent timing. So maybe it'll be quiet, maybe. I just got home from Onstage a few days ago and had a get together with my team. We just had a pop-up tips and techniques. It was really fun to go over all of the different things that we learned at Onstage and the different products. Talked about the new catalog strategy. We have a brand new catalog coming out May 6th. And with that, we have a new catalog strategy. So just so you have a heads up, we are no longer going to have one big book and 2 mini catalogs. We're going to instead have 3 catalogs a year that are the same size, and the products will be in the duration of that catalog. So you don't have to have one catalog that carries a whole year. Instead, we'll be working from just one production, paper production, and that is going to make it a lot simpler for all of you as well as for all of us demonstrators. If you're a demonstrator, you get to start your pre-order on Tuesday. It's one of the perks of being a demonstrator is we get access to all the new products early, and you also get to shop with a minimum 20% discount. So this is a smart shopping experience if you're a crafter who likes discounts, as well as joining Stampin' Up! Is going to give you the ability to be part of a really fun crafting community, just some like-minded friends who love to craft together. And I always say, no matter what reason you join, Stampin' Up! Is the right reason. Some of us like to get a smart discount, some of us like to have a community, and some of us like to run a business, like myself. I have classes coming up on this weekend. Actually, I have a class on Saturday that is almost sold out. I only have 2 spots left. If you're local and you're like, hey, I want to hang out with Lynsay for an afternoon, let me know because I have some spots for you. And I also have a new class schedule going live next week, so watch for that. You can actually see a sneak peek of it on my website, cloud9stampers.com. And so lots of fun things coming up using those new products from the new catalog. Now, if you're tuning in and you follow all the time and you're like, oh, Lynsay's wearing glasses. Yeah, I actually am a glasses wearer. I cannot see without glasses, but I do wear contacts most of the time. But I scratched my cornea almost 2 weeks ago. And so I finished all of the eye drops. My eye feels fantastic, but I do have to wear my glasses until Monday, I think, just to make sure that my cornea heals properly. But yeah, I do wear glasses. This is a fun fact about me is I cannot see without them. So here you go. Onstage was phenomenal. I've had some recaps this week and I posted some pictures of things. I still want to post some of my favorite projects. Just have been a little busy, but I'll get to that. That I saw on stage. I got to present to the demonstrators who attended the Long Beach as well as the Cologne in Germany. I was recorded for that one. So that was really fun to get to share some of the tips that I had for fellow demonstrators. If you are one of those friends, be sure to comment below and let me know that you were there. That always makes me happy when I know that we got to sort of connect in person, right? So today we're working with the product of the month. You probably saw that in the title of this video. So the product of the month is a fairly new strategy that Stampin' Up! Has put out. And the way it works is when you have a $100 Canadian order before your shipping and tax, you get the option to add the product of the month. Now the product of the month is exclusive. You can't purchase it anywhere else except through that offer. And in Canada, you are able to add it into your shopping cart for $5. Now that is going to go up to $7 in May. So now just know that you have a little bit of a discount while we are waiting for our new catalog to come out. Now, another thing I wanted to point out is with our new catalog in May, we do have some price increases on some things like adhesives and envelopes. So if you are interested in what you should be shopping for now to get the best price before we have a price increase, make sure you let me know. And of course, this is the way of the world right now. It's just how things are. It's a little bit more expensive, right? So it's nice though when you can take advantage of those lower prices. So let me know. I can send you the list of the things that I've noticed and you can go ahead and shop with that. All right, I'm gonna do the awkward transition so you can see my hands. Let's get crafting. This is a great time to share this video with friends. Make sure you like and subscribe to my channel so you never miss out on anything. I do have a YouTube channel too that you can check out, and that's at cloud9stampers.com. Okay, I'm gonna do an awkward transition here. There are all sorts of ways that you could make this not awkward, but at the sake of keeping things inexpensive and easy, I just do an awkward transition. So I appreciate your patience. Here we go. All right, hello friends. Don't look at my nails. I need to get them done, but I have not had time. So we have a product of the month that became available in March, and it is lovely. It is called Notes of Spring. I love that it's got these beautiful spring animals. And guess what? Today is the first day of spring. And so we have, you know, I wanted to be on brand for that. So this is just going to kind of play with that. We've got this little bunny. We've got this little duck and a little fawn. And it's a two-step stamp. There's lots of things you can use to color over top. One I wanted to show you today is some 3D projects. So I hope that you are excited about that. Kathy, when you say eyeglass topper, what do you mean? I don't understand that. So tell me, just reply in the comments and tell me what you mean. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to show you is a box. And this box was shared from one of my friends at Onstage. Her name is Rayanne. And Rayanne shared this box and I was like, wait, is that one piece of paper? And you guys, it is. So this is just an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. And there are some scoring you need to do. So you can do this with a Simply Scored tool or your paper cutter if you've got a scoring blade. So we're going to score on the 11-inch side. So this is the long way. You're going to score it at 1 inch, 2 inches, 6 inches, and 7 inches. And then on the 8.5 side, you're going to score it at 1 inch and 7.5 inches. So very, very simple scoring. Love when we can do just whole numbers like that or half numbers. And also I have just cut off the edges here, okay? And then, oh, Kathy says, is that the whole frame of your glass? Yeah, so here, I'll show you. These are wood, actually. They're made out of wood, and this does not come off. They're from a company in Spain, and then you can also customize the arms on them. So yeah, they're nice and light, which is fun. Okay, so here's where we've got all the scoring. So now we're going to go ahead and fold on a score line. So I'm using Pretty in Pink cardstock, and now I'm going to fold on all of those lines, just like that, and like that. And then we're going to fold on the other side, like that. Okay, so there's all our folds. Now, these ones here, I don't know if you can see, I kind of took the stylus and I just sort of gave a little press from corner to corner, going out towards the edge of the box. And we're gonna be folding these here in a minute. It's not perfectly straight, it's just gonna help it fold into there. And so this is going to fold like that. So you're gonna just match up the corners like that and then give it a press. And same with over here. It just really helps to help the paper move so that it doesn't fold in the wrong spot. And we're gonna do the same thing here. So from the edge, we're gonna press that down just just like that. We can even use our bone folder to give it a little press, so it looks like that. And same with over here. See, it just naturally wants to fold in like that, which is great. Okay, so here's our one piece of 8.5 by 11. We've done all those scorings, and now I'm gonna show you how we're gonna fold it into a box. So those little things are gonna fold in like that. This is gonna fold up like that, and these are actually just gonna stay shut. You don't need to try to find a spot for them to go. They're just gonna fold on top like so. And then they're going to be the thing that the little topper grabs into. So it just folds in like that, and there you've got your little box. I mean, come on, it's so great. We're gonna use a belly band that's gonna help it stay together. One little tip I'm gonna give you is, you'll notice it's not exactly straight. I took my snips and I just cut off a tiny bit on each side, and that just helps it to slide into the box a little bit easier, okay, like that. So now I'm gonna bring in a piece of Secret C, and this cardstock is going to fold around. So I'm gonna start with it right here, and I'm not going to score it, I'm going to just fold it. And the reason I'm not scoring it is I actually don't want it to be super duper tight. I want it to just fold around so that it's going to slide on and off fairly easily. So there we've got our little piece like that. We can remove it. I'm going to bring in my tear and tape, and this is going to go along the edge. This is super sticky tape, and so we're just giving it a little bit of extra sticking power so that we don't have to worry about that popping open. We're gonna put like another insurance policy on it, so don't fret, it's got more holding too. So this is going to slide around like this. You can line up the edges, and there you go. So that belly band is going to slide on and off. Now I have chosen to put the seams here because we're actually going to cover this up in a minute. But I'm going to start first of all with this ribbon that comes from the Cute as a Bug suite. It's Old Olive, and I just love how it's got this really nice scallop edge to it. So we're going to wrap this around our belly band. And again, thanks Rayanne for sharing this template with me. I loved how she decorated it. Mine's a little different, but she did show this ribbon being wrapped around, which I really, really loved. I'm just gonna add a tiny bit of Stampin' Seal Plus on here. That's gonna help hold my ribbon while I get the rest of the decor for the box ready. So this is gonna go down like that, and then this one is going to go up like that. Okay, very nice. So now I'm bringing in this paper, and this paper is called Pleasant Patterns. It's from an Easter suite that we have, and I've used my Stylish Shapes dies, and I've cut out a little circle that's going to be our focal point on the belly band. So bringing in my Stampin' Dimensionals, I'm going to use them to help hold my ribbon in place, and that is just going to make it extra stuck down. Remove the backings, and then we can add our circle on top. Okay. So this is going to go on like that. So already looking pretty darn cute. So let's bring in the Notes of Spring, and I want to bring in the bunny because we're going to make this into an Easter box. And here you can see we've got the 2 steps. So I'm going to use a piece of Whisper White, and I'm going to bring in Secret C as my neutral. So this is going to be what we do the outline with. So we're going to stamp our bunny, and then I want Smoky Slate, which is a nice light gray color, and that's going to be my 2-step. So we're going to stamp over top, and now we have a gray bunny. Now, the other thing I want to do is use my Naturals blends. So this is the extra light. So the number on it is 1000, and we're going to color in some cheeks and some ears. Lovely. Let's cut this out, and we'll add it onto our Stylish Shape circle, and then we can decorate it, okay? So this is gonna go on like so. Cute, right? Yeah, I mean, to get this stamp set for $5, this is probably a $30 value. So definitely, I mean, for sure, like 25 to 20 to 30. And then you think about shipping and tax that you're saving on it too. And you still earn Stampin' Rewards on the $5, so kind of great. Okay, so this bunny now, we're gonna add it into its little field. And I would like to add a greeting. So this greeting comes from the stamp set as well. And it says, especially for you. So we'll stamp that on there. And then I'm gonna bring in my triple banner punch. And we're going to, oops, I've got a piece still stuck in there. We're going to stamp that out. Beautiful. And now we can layer this on like so. So let me skip to the end, and I want to show you here. I'll keep this one in here just so you can see the difference. So if you wanted, you could use this paper to be able to make the base. But if you're like, wow, Lynsay, that's expensive paper to do that, that's okay. You can just add a little tidbit onto your box. But here you can see when I open it up, I'm going to slide off the belly band. You can see I've decorated it with those little Easter embellishments. I did this belly band a little tight, and once I added the treats, which are kind of bursting in here, it is a little challenging to get off, but that's okay. You forgive me, right? So just know that if you fill it up, if you overfill it, excuse me, it's gonna let you know. So this is going to open now, and you can see we've got some Nerds candies, which is going to be a great gift for some of the littles in my life who I want to give a little treat for. I love that box. I just think it's such a great way to use an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, and it's not overly fussy, and it holds its shape really, really well. Yeah, that paper is so pretty, isn't it, Tracy? Okay, so that's project number 1. Project number 2 is also using that specialty paper, and I really loved this one. This was a gift from my friend Karen, who she gave it to me at Onstage. So let me show you the directions. So this piece of paper is 6 inches, and it's cut by 2.5 inches, and then you're going to score it at 2.5, 2.5, 3, and 5.5, and that's how you're going to get this little piece of paper. Now this is a matchbook style, which is so cute, and so we are going to fold on those score lines like this, and all of a sudden you can see now it is a matchbook. So how do you keep it closed? Well, if you bring in a punch, not a punch, stapler. Back in the day, this was a long time ago, we had Stampin' Up! Branded punches. Staples were really popular in crafting, so we had our own stapler, which is kind of fun. So here you can see we've got our matchbox. So let's decorate the front using our Notes of Spring product of the month. And so I'm going to bring in my basic white, and we're going to stamp our deer. So here we've got the 2-step stamps. I'm going to use Early Espresso as my ink pad, and that's going to do the outline. And then we're going to bring in Pecan Pie, and that will be the coloring part of the deer. So simple. And once again, you guys know I love to give them cheeks, so we're gonna throw on a little bit of that extra light and a little bit inside the ear. It just kind of makes it more exciting to look at, right? So once again, if we fussy cut that out, we're going to get this, and I've just added a circle behind it, and now you can see we have this really sweet spring treat. So what can you put inside here? Well, there's a couple of things you can put in. Ghirardelli chocolates work really well. These little Bouchard chocolates from Costco, they also fit really well. You can sit them in either way. And these little XO chocolates, also from Costco, they also fit in really well. So what you can just do is throw a dimensional on the back, and then you can stick your chocolate inside And then now you have that sweet little spring treat. This would be really cute if you're having a get together at Easter to just leave it on people's plates as a favor. Or if you wanted to do these for workmates, they're just so simple. Like you can throw together a whole pile of them really quickly and people will be really touched. You can see I've just tied a knot on the ribbon here and added a glue dot beneath it so that I could just tack that on. That covers up the staple and just makes it extra cute. So that's that. Now, if you're looking at this stamp set and you're like, Lynsay, aren't you forgetting something? These animals clearly need sweaters, don't they? Why, friend, yes, they do. So let's go ahead and do that. You knew I had to do it. Okay, so we're going to bring in this time our Memento ink pad. Just a heads up, Memento is retiring. We have a new formulation coming out. There is a hybrid ink that's going to be coming out with our new catalog in May. So if you are a Memento fan and you really, really want to make sure that you get to keep using your Memento, you may want to place an order for your refills now, okay? And I have a duck. So we haven't used the duck on a project yet, but we're going to go ahead and throw the duck in there. All right, so if this is the first time you're seeing me adding sweaters to the animals, welcome, friend. It's about time you showed up. This is what we use. So this is the Sharpie S Gel 0.7. That's the size of the nib. And these work really well with the animals because it's a water-based marker, so you can still use your Stampin' Blends, which are alcohol, so it's not going to run with your blend. So here's what we like to do. So when I'm adding sweaters, I like to see where the face naturally falls. So I'm just going to join this together. So that's going to be the top of the sweater. And I just have to bring over this so I can see how I did it. Then this one's going to be like a onesie. My Frenchie has onesies like this too. So you can see I'm adding just where the little paws are going to come out. And then same thing here on his leg. We're going to do that. So that's going to be the onesie. Okay. With the deer, we're going to add the top of the sweater here, and we're going to make it a long sleeve sweater like that. And then it's going to just come to the edge here. Now this is a fawn, so it's got some spots on the back. So I decided to play with the spots and just add as polka dotted sweater. So I'm just going to add in different size spots onto the sweater, so we can kind of mirror what we see in the stamp set. And then our deer can be extra fashionable, right? So we're going to do a couple of those like that, right? Isn't that cute? And then finally with our duck, I decided the duck was going to be wearing a bit of a turtleneck. So we're going to give it a little bit of a ribbing there. And then sweater is going to go here and end, right? And then same with the sleeve of the sweater is going to go there. So we just want to kind of fill in all of that. Now this sweater is going to be a striped sweater, so we're going to go ahead and follow along the neck. And then we want to sort of angle out the stripes. And then this is going to kind of match on the top. And then here on the arm, we're going to make them go in a different direction like that. Okay. So let's do some coloring now so that we can really show off these sweaters and the fashion that our sweet animals have. So we're going to start with the cheeks. We always start there. And the ears, that kind of gives that little pink. The duck just gets a cheek. There's no ears. And then we're going to fill in our coloring. So I've got some pool party here, and we're going to think about where the shadows would fall. So probably here in the front and by the leg, and then kind of along the top like that. All right. And then we can kind of just follow along. Remember, these are like the pajamas, and then these are going to be filled in with the light. Now, when I'm leaving an animal white, I do like to bring in my light pool party pen end, and I do just add a little bit of Pool Party, it's kind of like the shadow on the animal. So it just sort of helps it to feel a little bit less flat. So already we have our little bunny wearing its pajamas. Now let's do our deer. So I'm going to bring in crumb cake. And so I like to, when you've got an animal that has a long face like this, I like to start with the dark and bring it along the nose. And that's going to help give that illusion of dimension. Same with the ears here. We're going to keep that in the darker color because we want to ensure that you can see that sort of shadowing away. Here we're going to bring that shadow under its chin and sort of along the edge of the sweater and along the edge of the ear here. Same with the tail. I'm assuming this is a white-tailed deer, so there'd just be a little bit of brown on the top. And then also we've got the shadow of the hind end, which would be further away from us based on how this is drawn. And so we're going to add a little bit of shade there too. Now we're going to bring in the light crumb cake. This is going to do some of the blending for us. So we're going to go over top of what we've put down, but we're also going to just kind of leave some of that more on the lighter side. And same with here, we're going to blend out where we've added the shadows and go right over top of the cheeks so it blends in just like that. Now the feet I wanted to do in black. To kind of give that emphasis of hooves. This one isn't drawn in, so we're just going to go ahead and use our imagination like that. And now let's give our deer a pink sweater. So I've got Pretty in Pink, and this is going to start with the dark. So using that same philosophy of how the shadows would be sitting, we're going to go over top like that, and then also below, and kind of on this far away leg. And then we've got the lighter one that's going to do our blending work for us. I mean, come on, so cute. All right, let's do our goose. So we have here the pumpkin pie, light pumpkin pie. That's going to be the goose's beak. And I wanted the goose to be gray. So same thing, we're going to do that kind of feeling of the top being a little on the darker side, and then we're gonna bring that down under the chin and sort of shadow it that way. Same with the tail feathers here. I wanted the bum of the goose to stay white. And then we also are gonna do the little feathers that are kicking out here. Like that. Here we've got our light. So we're going to go over top of that and just kind of blend it together. Okay. And finally, we've got our purple. I have two different purples here. So the darker one, we are going to start with behind the neck and kind of under the wing. Oh wait, I did it the wrong way. We just can go over top. There we go. Now we're gonna blend that out. Isn't that cute? Okay, so there you go. There we have our sweet little animals that are all dressed up, ready for Easter. So if you've got, sorry, my doorbell just rang, so now everybody has to announce it. So now we've got our little box here all decorated, and we have this cute little treat. So if you're thinking to yourself, Lynsay, why don't I have these products? Head to my online store. Remember, you can get the Notes of Spring stamp set as a product of the month. So when you place a $100 order, you can add this to your cart for just $5. And they are while supplies last. Okay, have an amazing weekend, friends. I hope you are having some fun crafting. Bye for now.